Well, hello there everyone. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Christy and it is time to get cooking. All right guys, I'm excited today because I'm going to be roasting a chicken. Now I want to give you the tips and tricks so that you can have the most perfect, juicy, delicious chicken. You know, I don't think that roasted chicken gets enough credit. If done correctly, it is just fabulous. And it makes a great substitution for turkey for Thanksgiving and Christmas, especially if you're not feeding a crowd and you have just a handful of people over, then roasted chicken is definitely the way to go. So I'm gonna show you all the ingredients that I'm using, the tools and things that you will need to have the perfect chicken. So let's get started because we're roasting a chicken today. All right guys, so I have here some onions, carrots, and celery. You don't have to have exact measurements here, just throw in however many you want. This is 1.5 onions, 3 carrots, and 1 stalk of celery. Same thing goes for your garlic. I have 4 garlic cloves, but you can use 3, 6, however many you want. 1 lemon, some salted butter, a bundle of fresh thyme, salt and pepper, and then the chicken. Now this is a little over 5 pounds. You will want to let this chicken sit at room temperature for at least 30 minutes before you roast it. If you take a cold chicken and place it directly into the oven, it won't cook as evenly. Now, you also need some paper towels because you're going to want to pat your chicken dry. So pat all the chicken on both sides and inside the cavity, and you will also need some kitchen twine. So our chicken is patted dry and it is ready to prep for the oven. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to slice the lemon in half. So I placed half of that lemon inside the cavity. Now I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to smash these garlic cloves. This just opens them up so that it can infuse the flavor a little bit better. And now I'm going to toss them inside the cavity as well. I want to take a little bit of salt and sprinkle some salt inside of my chicken. I'm also going to put some black pepper inside. And then I'm going to take my bundle of thyme and I'm going to shove it in there as well. And then finally the other half of the lemon. All right, so now I want to tie these legs together so that the chicken will cook nice and evenly. So I'm going to use my kitchen twine here. All right guys, so I'm going to take this twine and I'm going to loop it around one leg and then around the other leg, kind of pulling them together until it's nice and snug. And then give it a tie. And you will also want to tuck these wings like this underneath of the breast there. Okay, so now I'm going to take like 3 tablespoons of butter and I'm going to lather my chicken with this butter. Just take this butter and just kind of massage it all in this chicken. And I'm going to do both sides. So I'm sorry if that camera angle didn't pick up all of my butter massage. I had all that butter and the chicken on my hands and I couldn't touch my camera. And I am in here by myself, guys. I'm a one-woman show. So I've washed my hands and now I'm going to put a little bit of pepper, some black pepper, sprinkle it on top. Now I'm not going to put any additional salt because that butter is salted. If you don't have salted butter, then sprinkle a little bit of salt on top as well. All right, so then you will need a roasting pan. And my roasting pan here comes with a wire rack. However, I'm not going to use it. I like to roast my chicken on top of my vegetables. Now the reason you use a wire rack is to keep that chicken elevated and up out of the fat that the chicken will render. I feel the vegetables do the same thing and they also add extra flavor to your chicken. So that's how I like to do it. So I'm simply going to dump my vegetables into my roasting pan and I'm going to kind of gather them all into the center because we're going to place that chicken right on top. Just like that. So I'm going to roast this chicken in a 425 degree oven. You will want to make sure that you roast it in the center of your oven. So you may need to move your oven rack so that it's in the center. And a good way to know how long to roast your chicken, it's typically 15 minutes per pound. Now this is a 5-pound chicken, so I'm going to roast it for an hour and a half. You will also want to make sure that the juices run clear. You don't want any rosy colored juice coming from your chicken. That means it's not done. You also can use an internal thermometer and it should read 165 degrees. So let's get this bad boy in the oven. All right, so I just took my chicken out of the oven and it has been in the oven for an hour and a half. I'm going to take a thermometer here and just test it and see what the temperature is. Need to get my glasses on to be able to read this thing. And I'm going to go underneath the wing and through to the breast that way. So yeah, we are good. Now what you'll need to do is to let your chicken rest for at least 15 minutes. You don't want to slice into it as soon as it comes out of the oven or all the juices will run out. You want to let it rest so the juices can kind of absorb back into the meat. That's how you have a nice juicy chicken. All right, so now I'm going to transfer this chicken onto a platter. It has been resting for 15 minutes. And then I'm going to take some of these vegetables that are underneath and just kind of put around it. Just makes it look pretty. So here's a little tip to help carve the chicken. I'm going to remove the wishbone. Now, typically you would do this before you roast it. I just got carried away and forgot, so I'm going to do it now. So the wishbone is right in here. And just take a knife and just make a slice. You can grab a hold of it. There's one half and there's the other half. All right, and then I'm going to untie my legs here. And then I'm going to take some parsley and just put around the chicken. It just makes it look pretty. All right, so I'm pouring the drippings from the roasting pan through a strainer and I'm going to use it to make a gravy. Okay guys, as you can see, I've kind of already made my gravy. I forgot to push the record button, but what I did was I took those drippings, which was basically just the butter. I added 2 tablespoons of flour and 2 cups of chicken broth. I'm just cooking it until it gets thick. So, of course, I had to serve this with some mashed potatoes. Now, I don't know if you're like me or not, but I love the crispy skin. All right, guys, well, that is the roasted chicken. If you end up making it for Thanksgiving or Christmas, please let me know. I love hearing from you all. I hope that you have a wonderful day. God bless, and I will see you soon with more delicious recipes.